Hello. I would like to share a story my grandma told me when I was a kid. We live in Brazil. My sister and I were talking about ghosts and other stories we heard in the dining room. That's when my grandma came over to us and told us a story about my uncle when he was a kid. At that time, it was pretty safe to let your kid go to school or go home alone. My uncle was going home after a full day at school. It was pretty dark, and he was alone. During his walk, the only thing he could hear was the sound of his keys shaking inside his backpack. They were so loud that one day he was robbed because the thieves thought the keys jingling was the sound of coins. Anyway, he was walking normally until he decided to look behind him because he had this feeling he was being followed. That's when he saw a figure standing not so far away from him. Because of it, he could see what the figure looked like, and it was definitely not human. Their face was weird, and their skin color was gray, but the most prominent part of their appearance was the fact that it had no lower part of their legs, only the upper part. My uncle, of course, was scared, but kept going, thinking it was just his imagination. He kept looking behind to see if the creature was there, and it was. At one point, he couldn't see the creature anymore because he was walking down a hill. The only thing he could hear was the sound of his keys. Again, at one point, he decided to look behind him one last time, and that's when he saw the creature running towards him, using its arms, and it was surprisingly fast. My uncle immediately started sprinting as fast as he could. He didn't dare look behind him again, and unfortunately, couldn't even hear the sound of the creature, only the sound of his keys. Eventually, he arrived at the street his house was on. My grandma was waiting for him outside the house. She saw my uncle running and screaming something. He was probably warning my grandma about the creature. When he finally reached my grandma, he looked behind him and saw no one. My grandma told us that the moment she saw my uncle, she saw no one following him. My uncle told my grandpa, my mom, my aunt, and her about what happened. Surprisingly, she believed him because she thinks a demon was following him that night. And who knows what could have happened to my uncle if he hadn't been paying attention to his surroundings. I normally don't believe these stories, but I found this one interesting and decided to share it with you.